Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. We're back at the movies for another review. And today we're going to be doing one of my personal all time favorite movies and maybe the weirdest movie I've ever seen. If not the weirdest, it's pretty close. I'm talking about 1998's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, directed by Terry Gilliam and starring Johnny Depp, one of my all time favorites, and Benicio del Toro, an amazing actor in his own right. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Terry Gilliam, he is an amazing director who has directed some very interesting stuff. Usually kind of out there, a little weird, but fantastic. From, his latest movie, The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, which, unfortunately was Heath Ledger's last film, 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis. He is an amazing director. The Meaning of Life, which is a Monty Python movie. He is an amazing director. His stories are so strange usually, but they work. What the story he's trying to tell, it may be one of the craziest rides you take to get there, but it always gets you there. And this movie is no different. I mean, this movie starts off, the way this movie starts off, you're in for a weird movie. I mean, you've got Johnny Depp's character, Raoul Duke, who is loosely based off of real-life writer Hunter S. Thompson. This movie is a loose biography of Hunter S. Thompson's. He's in a car in the middle of the desert, top down, with his lawyer, Dr. Gonzo. They're both tripping on drugs, and he's being chased by imaginary bats. And he picks up a hitchhiker, and, before they pick up a hitchhiker, he lists all the drugs they have in their car, from 2 bags of grass, 75 pellets of mescaline, a half salt shaker full of cocaine, a multicolored galaxy of uppers, downers, laughers, screamers, a quart of rum, quart of tequila, pint of raw ether. It's the craziest thing. And you're in for a crazy ride. And that's what this movie is. It is a 2-hour drug fest where Raoul Duke's character is just tripping on acid. He's taking fake drugs, including one called adrenochrome, which is allegedly made from the adrenaline gland of a living human being that is probably 100 times stronger than acid. And it's just so fun to watch of how crazy it is. There's so many different cameos in this movie too, and they're all blink and you miss them, but they're all hilarious in their own right. From Tobey Maguire, who plays the hitchhiker at the beginning of the movie, Mark Harmon, Christina Ricci, Cameron Diaz, Gary Busey, Christopher Maloney, Ellen Barkin. They're all blink and you miss them, but absolutely perfect in the roles they're cast in. Very quick blink and you miss cameos that all add to Raoul Duke's story, and his story is so crazy. And Hunter S. Thompson, if you ever read any of his work, he was a very interesting man who could tell a story, and he was a very eccentric person. And I think Johnny Depp was the perfect casting for that, because Johnny Depp is that kind of person. He's very, very eccentric. A little, something about him is always a little off. And that's probably why they became friends in real life. It's just such a it's probably my favorite Johnny Depp performance of his career. It's either that or A Nightmare on Elm Street. I love A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's one of my personal favorites as well. Not that he isn't great in everything he does, because he is. But Fear and Loathing on Las Vegas, him and Benicio del Toro, just a weekend of popping pills, mescaline, acid, every drug known to man, and just just how over the top it is. It is such a fun movie. It's there's really no flaw in the movie because it's a movie really without flaws. It doesn't it's not directed in a way where you can pick out, oh, they could have done this better or they could have done this better, because the entire movie is about two guys on drugs and just how crazy things get. And yet they're both able to function relatively well. Dr. Gonzo is a lawyer who actually, basically encourages him to do the drugs and pick up guns and do all this crazy stuff. And then he goes off the deep end, but then just like that, he's right back to being a lawyer. They destroy multiple hotel rooms, like destroy them. It's just such a fun ride. It's a flawless movie because they're drugged out of their minds the entire time. So if there's something wrong, it was meant to be wrong. Because of that, this is going to be a high score. Really high score. Is it an all-time great movie? I don't think it is. But it's one of my all-time favorites. So I can't put it in the 9s, but I'm going to give Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas an 8.8. It's one of my all-time favorites. It is a great movie. It is a weird movie. It is a hell of a ride. 1998's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, starring Johnny Depp, Benicio del Toro, directed by Terry Gilliam. It's an 8.8. That's my review. If you like this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I will see you guys next time at the movies. Take care.